Most people think leg pain, cold feet, or numbness are simply part of getting older. They tell themselves, "I'm over 60 now. My legs just aren't what they used to be." But that belief may be causing many people to overlook something important. The truth is, while aging certainly affects the body, uncomfortable legs aren't always just about age. Sometimes they're a sign that your muscles, nerves, and blood vessels aren't getting the support they need to function at their best. And one essential vitamin, often overlooked after age 60, may play a bigger role than many people realize. Here's something that surprises many of my patients. Blood flow doesn't only depend on your heart. Your circulation relies on a vast network of tiny blood vessels carrying oxygen and nutrients to every muscle and nerve in your legs. As we get older, many different factors can affect how well that system works, including physical activity, chronic health conditions, medications, nutrition, and yes, certain vitamin deficiencies. I'm Dr. Kalvin Stone, and for years I've helped older adults better understand how aging affects the brain, nerves, and circulation. My goal isn't to promise miracle cures or quick fixes. It's to help you understand what science actually tells us, so you can make informed decisions with your healthcare provider and stay active for as long as possible. In today's video, we'll explore one vitamin that deserves far more attention when it comes to healthy nerves and circulation after 60. We'll also discuss why low levels become increasingly common with age, the subtle warning signs many people mistake for normal aging, and simple ways to support healthy blood flow as part of an overall healthy lifestyle. But before we get into that vitamin, there's one question you should ask yourself. When was the last time your legs actually felt normal, not just free from pain? I mean truly steady, comfortably warm, strong enough to climb the stairs without thinking about every step. If you have to pause before answering, you're certainly not alone. Many older adults first notice small changes that seem almost insignificant. Maybe your feet feel colder than everyone else's, even in a warm room. Maybe you wake up with tingling in your toes that disappears after a few minutes. Or perhaps walking the same distance you enjoyed a few years ago now leaves your legs feeling unusually tired or heavy. Because these changes often develop gradually, many people assume they're simply another birthday milestone. They adapt without asking why, but your body often sends quiet signals long before a bigger problem develops. Think of your circulation like a network of highways. When traffic moves smoothly, oxygen and nutrients reach every destination on time. But if those roads become less efficient, delivery slows down. Your muscles, skin, and nerves may all begin to notice the difference. That's one reason maintaining healthy circulation becomes increasingly important as we age. Of course, circulation isn't the only piece of the puzzle. Joint problems, nerve conditions, diabetes, certain medications, smoking, and even spending too much time sitting can all contribute to symptoms like leg discomfort or numbness. That's why it's important not to jump to conclusions or try to diagnose yourself based on a single symptom. And here's where nutrition becomes especially interesting. After the age of 60, the body doesn't always absorb nutrients as efficiently as it once did. Even people who eat balanced meals may gradually develop lower levels of certain vitamins over time. In some cases, those lower levels can affect tissues that depend on a healthy supply of oxygen and normal nerve function. The challenge is that these changes are often subtle. They don't happen overnight. Instead, they slowly become part of daily life until people begin saying things like, "My feet are always freezing. My balance isn't what it used to be. My legs just feel weak." Sometimes those experiences are related to aging itself. Sometimes they're influenced by other medical conditions. And sometimes they prompt healthcare providers to check for nutritional deficiencies that can become more common later in life. That's why today's number one vitamin has attracted so much attention among physicians and researchers. Not because it's a miracle, but because maintaining healthy levels may support normal nerve function and healthy red blood cell production, both of which are important for keeping your body working the way it should. The surprising part is that many people don't realize they're running low until symptoms have been present for quite some time. And one essential vitamin, often overlooked after age 60, may play a bigger role than many people realize. Here's something that surprises many of my patients. Blood flow doesn't only depend on your heart. Your circulation relies on a vast network of tiny blood vessels carrying oxygen and nutrients to every muscle and nerve in your legs. As we get older, many different factors can affect how well that system works, including physical activity, chronic health conditions, medications, nutrition. Vitamin B12 has been part of medical research for decades, yet many people still think of it as simply an energy vitamin. In reality, its role in the body is far more complex. It helps your body produce healthy red blood cells and supports the normal function of your nervous system. Both are especially important as we get older. Think about your legs for a moment. Every step you take depends on three systems working together. Your muscles need oxygen, your nerves need to send clear signals, and your blood vessels need to deliver nutrients efficiently. If one part of that system isn't working as well as it should, you may begin noticing changes that seem small at first but become harder to ignore over time. One reason healthcare providers pay close attention to vitamin B12 in older adults is that our ability to absorb it often changes with age. Even if you're eating foods that naturally contain B12, your body may not absorb it as effectively as it once did. That's because the stomach gradually produces less acid and less of a protein called intrinsic factor, both of which are involved in absorbing this vitamin. This is one reason doctors may check vitamin B12 levels when an older patient reports persistent numbness, tingling, balance problems, or unexplained weakness. These symptoms can have many possible causes, so testing helps determine whether a deficiency is one piece of the puzzle. Now, it's important to keep realistic expectations. Vitamin B12 is not a cure for poor circulation, arthritis, peripheral artery disease, diabetes, or nerve disorders. If your symptoms are caused by one of those conditions, simply taking more B12 is unlikely to solve the problem. That's why understanding the underlying cause always comes first. However, if someone is genuinely deficient, correcting that deficiency under medical guidance can help restore normal body functions that depend on adequate B12. That's a very different message from promising dramatic overnight results. So how would someone know if they should ask their healthcare provider about B12? Some common signs that may prompt a conversation include persistent tingling in the hands or feet, unusual fatigue, difficulty maintaining balance, numbness that doesn't improve, or unexplained weakness. These symptoms don't automatically mean you have a B12 deficiency, but they are worth discussing with a medical professional, especially if they continue or gradually worsen. Certain people may have a higher chance of developing low B12 levels. For example, adults over 60, people taking certain long-term medications that reduce stomach acid, individuals with digestive conditions affecting nutrient absorption, and those following strict vegan diets may all benefit from asking whether testing is appropriate for them. Another question I often hear is, can't I just eat more meat? Foods like fish, eggs, dairy products, beef, and shellfish naturally contain vitamin B12. For many healthy adults, these foods provide enough of the vitamin. But as we mentioned earlier, the challenge after 60 isn't always how much B12 enters your mouth. It's how much your body actually absorbs. That's why healthcare providers sometimes recommend supplements, or, in certain situations, prescription injections for people who are unable to absorb enough B12 through food alone. The right approach depends entirely on the individual, which is why self-treating isn't the best answer. Here's another point that's often overlooked. Healthy circulation isn't built around a single vitamin. Your blood vessels benefit from many healthy habits working together. Staying physically active, managing blood pressure and blood sugar, avoiding smoking, getting enough sleep, eating a balanced diet, and following the treatment plan recommended by your healthcare provider. Think of it like maintaining a garden. Water alone isn't enough. The soil, sunlight, nutrients, and regular care all matter. Your circulation works much the same way. And that leads to another important question. If vitamin B12 is only one part of the picture, what everyday habits have the strongest evidence for helping keep your legs healthy, your circulation moving, and your mobility as strong as possible after 60? That's exactly what we'll explore next, because one simple daily habit may have an even greater impact than most people realize. One of the most encouraging things I've learned over the years is this. It's never too late to start taking better care of your circulation. I've seen people in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s make meaningful improvements in their mobility. Not because they discovered a miracle supplement, but because they consistently focused on the habits that support healthy blood vessels, muscles, and nerves over time. If your goal is to keep walking comfortably, maintain your independence, and enjoy everyday activities, think beyond a single vitamin. Think about your daily routine as a whole. Let's start with movement. Your leg muscles do much more than help you walk. Every time they contract, they act like a natural pump, helping move blood back toward your heart. That's why long periods of sitting can leave your legs feeling stiff or heavy. You don't have to run marathons to support healthy circulation. For many older adults, something as simple as a short walk, gentle stretching, or regularly standing up after sitting for long periods can make a real difference in keeping the muscles active. The key isn't intensity, it's consistency. Next comes hydration. Blood is made up largely of water. Staying adequately hydrated supports your body's normal functions, including healthy circulation. While everyone's fluid needs are different, especially for people with certain heart or kidney conditions, drinking enough fluids throughout the day is another simple habit worth discussing with your healthcare provider. Nutrition also plays a major role. Rather than chasing a single superfood, focus on building meals around colorful vegetables, fruits, whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats, and foods naturally rich in important vitamins and minerals. If vitamin B12 is part of your healthcare provider's recommendation, include foods such as fish, eggs, dairy products, and lean meats when appropriate for your dietary needs. If testing shows that supplementation is necessary, follow the plan your provider recommends rather than guessing the right dose yourself. Another habit that's often overlooked is managing chronic health conditions. High blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, and smoking can all affect the health of your blood vessels over time. Working with your healthcare team to manage these conditions may have a much greater impact on your long-term circulation than relying on any single supplement alone. And don't underestimate the importance of sleep. While you sleep, your body is constantly repairing tissues and regulating many important processes. Poor sleep over long periods can affect overall health in many ways, which is another reason quality rest deserves attention as part of a healthy lifestyle. There's one more point I'd like you to remember. Never ignore symptoms that appear suddenly. If you develop sudden severe leg pain, one leg becomes cold or pale, you notice a wound that isn't healing, or you experience sudden weakness, numbness, difficulty speaking, chest pain, or shortness of breath, seek immediate medical attention. Those symptoms require prompt evaluation and should never be treated with vitamins or home remedies alone. Your body is remarkably good at sending signals when something needs attention. The earlier you respond to those signals, the more options you and your healthcare provider may have. So let's bring everything together. Today we talked about why leg pain, cold feet, and numbness shouldn't automatically be dismissed as just getting older. We explored how healthy circulation depends on many factors working together, and why vitamin B12 deserves attention, particularly because deficiency becomes more common as we age and can affect normal nerve function and red blood cell production. But the biggest takeaway isn't that one vitamin changes everything. It's that lasting health is built from small, consistent choices made every single day. Stay active, eat a balanced diet, follow up with your healthcare provider, ask questions if something doesn't feel right, and never assume that every new symptom is simply something you have to live with because of your age. Small steps today may help support better mobility, confidence, and independence tomorrow. I'm Dr. Kalvin Stone, and I truly appreciate you spending part of your day with me. If you found this video helpful, please let me know by clicking the like button. It helps more older adults discover evidence-based health information without the confusion that's so common online. And if you're passionate about staying active, protecting your brain, supporting healthy circulation, and aging as well as possible, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. Every week, we explore practical, science-informed strategies designed specifically for adults over 60. Finally, I'd love to hear from you. What was the very first sign that made you realize your legs weren't feeling the way they used to? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might encourage someone else to take that first important step toward better health. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay curious, and keep moving forward, one healthy choice at a time.